Good afternoon. Today is the 19th of March, 2016, and I'm sitting here with my sister Anita to my left, and she's a surprise visit, and we're sitting here talking about the old times and just enjoying a nice, relaxed Saturday afternoon. The kids are all busy doing their thing, so we thought we'd just sit here and enjoy each other's company, which we do very seldom nowadays. She's asked me about my book. My book? Why a book? This book is my first attempt at writing, and my subject is my favorite, music. I enjoy music, so I decided to document what little I know about music, especially about the big bands. I chose the big bands because the big bands have faded away, and the younger generation does not know too much about big bands, and probably they couldn't care. They couldn't care less. So the thing that's unique about this book, it's going to be a murder mystery and a fiction, non-fiction about the big bands. So I braided the two, so it's fiction and non-fiction, and hope that it makes sense. The story is kind of interesting because Pasadena is one of the few places that had its own private or no public venue to feature big bands. A young man and his family started their first job at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium, which was Alvina Ray and the King sisters. It was their first big gig. So I thought that would be interesting to the reader. The other thing that's interesting about this book, it's going to be a book featuring a CD so that the reader can also listen to the music that's referred to in the book. And I hope it's interesting enough to hold your attention. The book will feature some photographs of big bands that were very, very popular during their heyday. Ballrooms that are no longer with us because they were torn down and converted to bowling alleys or laundromats. So the book has recorded some of these venues and hopefully saved them. It features Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, Harry James, some of the well-known musicians, Charley Barnett, even show a marquee with Ray Anthony.
Okay, do you want to show us anything about the book, Uncle Charlie?
Yeah, the book entitled is Dance Hall. Is that?
Have you ever read the book? The whole thing?
Okay, anything you want to say about the book, Uncle Charlie, and show us?
Okay. Long before TV was even heard of, let alone becoming a household word, there was ballrooms where people would go to dance and have a good time and mix with their friends and have a good Saturday night. And there was bands that were move around and tour the country back and forth, the East Coast and West Coast. and provide music for the dancers. Music had, next to the circus in town, the big band was an attraction. Those days are long gone because TV came along and took over the entertainment field. So the bands faded out little by little. So this book that we're talking about will highlight some of the things that happened, how the big bands evolved and what caused their demise. This book is going to be a combination murder mystery, and like I said before, it's going to be fiction, non-fiction, and hope that it tells us the story the way it really was. I have here in the book, I have taken pictures of some of the ballrooms that were very popular. I have a picture here of the Trianon, which was in Chicago. A picture of the Dance City, which was in New York. The Aragon and this is a Trianon in Chicago. This one here. This is an Aragon in Chicago that was owned and operated by Carraz's brothers. This is Charley Barnett. A lot of you may not have heard of him, but Charley Barnett had a big hit entitled Cherokee. And unfortunately, there was a fire occurred during his engagement at the Palomar, caught on fire at midnight. And this is Charley Barnett's alto saxophone all burned up as a result of that fire. One of the big hits in during the big band era was a radio. And one of the musicians in the radio went on to become a very, very popular entertainer. His name was Rudy Valley. This Rudy, he went on to become the biggest entertainer in the U.S. during his time. This is Benny Goodman appearing at the Palomar, which burned down. Here's Harry James, who used to play in his band. Gene Krupa, Ziggy Elman, all featured solos with Benny Goodman. We come to one of the most popular was Glenn Miller. The saxophone section, trombone section, trumpet section, the Moderneers. This is Harry James. This big band. He added violins, which was unheard of. He added violins to his band to give a little class so he would be hired by some of the most famous hotels and venues. Here's Harry James' wife, his second wife, Betty Grable. So on. And this is Harry James's first wife. She was a 16-year-old girl when he met in a band that we were playing with in Texas. Here's Harry James, Frank Sinatra, their big band. Frank Sinatra left Harry James to bigger things and signed up with Tommy Dorsey, trombone player. Here's a marquee at the Palladium in Hollywood featuring Ray Anthony. Anyway, here's a crowd, the Palladium. They had over 4,000 dancers Palladium. Okay, I guess you have a rough idea. The book also features a murder mystery, and hopefully it'll be interesting enough to hold your attention, and I hope you enjoy. And I just wanted to let you know that this is what I've been doing for the last few years. I spent time with the book, then I'll shift over to, when I burn out on the book, I shift over to the music and do the music for the book because, like I said earlier, the reader will be able to listen to the music as he reads, as it is referred to in the book. So I hope I finish it soon, and I hope you're able to obtain a copy, and I hope you enjoy the book. And I want to thank Robert for taking the time to record this little get-together, and Kenny for providing lunch. We had a terrific pizza that Kenny prepared for us, or got for us. And his dog, Ginger's out there all alone because we want her to relax. There's Ginger.
She's been behaving
So
very well.
once again, we bid adieu and say, hope you have a good evening, and we'll talk to you later.
It was very nice. One thing I can say is, I went to the Palladium Theater when Joe and I were first, before we got married. We got to go to the Hollywood Palladium, go dancing.
Yeah,
And it was a big thrill for me, anyway.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say, Uncle Charlie, that we have you on video? Oh, you could say hi, hello to your son Joey.
Oh, okay. I would like to dedicate this book to my family, to Joy, to Jackie, and to Kenny, of course. I'll even mention Martha because she was such a good mother raising the kids. And maybe she'll come across this book and remember
The
the
good
Big
times.
Bend era, even though it was way before her time. And I'd like to thank the rest of the family, Robert, Joseph, and his family, Carlos, Nina Margaret and her family, and
Jody.
Jody. And I hope that you take the time to read this book because it's kind of interesting, and in a way it's a historical book, and like again, I say it's a fiction, non-fiction. I hope you enjoy.
Now, Martha, where is Martha right now, Uncle Charlie?
Florida.
Uh-huh.
What's the name of that city, Kenny?
Spring Hill.
What?
Spring Hill.
Oh, Spring Hill.
And Joey is in New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Yeah. So I'm sure Joey misses you and not being able to
Jackie's
see.
on the road at this time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's on the road.
Jackie's in the process of moving. And her two daughters, Jasmine, who's gone on to become a lawyer in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and Jessica. And my two great grandchildren. Jessica now has, or will have a boy and a girl one.
Jessica's expecting a
Soon.
baby.
Mm-hmm. You want to say anything to your brother Joey in New Jersey?
Hi Joey, how you doing?
And Jackie?
Hi Jackie. Mark.
And to Martha.
And Martha?
And that's it, folks.
One-
Okay.
One thing, can you tell me what you just told me a little while ago about your friends that they were on the train when Frank Sinatra and his wife?
Oh, one day we're walking home from school. We were about 15 years old at the time. And on the way home, we would pass by the Santa Fe train station. And many celebrities would, in the train station in Pasadena, many celebrities would embark in Pasadena to avoid the rush by the fans that would be,
In Los
it
Angeles.
would overwhelm them. So one day we're walking home from school, the train comes choo-choo by, comes to a standstill right there by the train depot. And lo and behold, we see Frank Sinatra, Nancy Sinatra, Frank Sinatra Jr., and Nancy's mother embarked from the train. And needless to say, all the fans that were anticipating this rush over, and Frank Sinatra couldn't get out of it. The family couldn't get out of there soon enough, because they were overwhelmed. That was one experience in Pasadena. That train station is no longer there, not even the tracks.
That's
It
right. That's
goes to
right.
show time goes on. Okay.
That's right near the Central Park there where we went to.
Well, it's right next to us, across the street.
Uh-huh. And that's where your favorite store is. What is the name of the store?
The Christmas store,
The
yeah.
Christmas store.
Yeah.
It's up here by the orange place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right there. Anyway, we'd go. When you were younger and you wanted to see a movie star come into town, you'd go there, and you'd be able to see some well-known movie stars. I remember seeing. Remember Dennis Morgan,
You mean the actor?
the actor?
Yeah.
That was many years ago. But I never got to see Frank Sinatra though. I saw him in concert. Jody took me to see him in concert at Universal Studios, and I got to see him. And I got to see
Oh.
Nancy.
Frank Sinatra?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where I saw him at Universal Studios.
and but that was it. I mean, he was. At that time you thought, oh gosh, it's so wonderful to see all these people. But and I remember.
What happened to Dennis Morgan?
Oh well, that was many years ago, Charlie. So I don't know whether he was making movies, a lot of movies, but then all of a sudden.
When I saw Frank Sinatra to Universal, he was there with Buddy Rich, who was a drummer.
Yeah, I remember seeing all of these orchestras playing at the Orpheum Theater in
Yeah.
L.A.
That's where I saw
And
Jimmy
I saw Mel Torme there, and then like Count Basie and
Louis Jordan.
Yeah, and then Nat King Cole,
Yeah.
and there were a lot of
I saw Gene Krupa.
Then I got to see, at the $1 Million, I got to see Sammy Davis Jr. That was before he became known with a lot of his, movie star friends. And so there were quite a few people that I got to see. And I remember you used to tell me how you'd go to the Orpheum a lot on Sundays.
And that's where we took that picture,
Okay.
on the way to the Orpheum.
Yeah, really. Okay. Anyway, I didn't have a car and I didn't drive, so we'd take the streetcar into LA, the red car, and we'd go to the Orpheum and we'd see movies, and then we'd see all these big bands, and then whatever happened to the Abaddon?
Abaddon petered out because the big bands were already on the way out.
Yeah,
By the time we
I remember
grew up.
going to the Abaddon and to the Zenda ballroom.
Yeah.
Zenda.
You were talking about this picture. What did you say about that picture, Mother and Uncle Charlie?
Oh, that was
Okay, here's
Ohio
where
Street.
mom
That's
was
where-
born on this street, Ohio
where
Street.
I was
Ohio
born.
Street. Mm-hmm.
Here's the Pasadena Civic Auditorium.
And that's where they
Where-
do a whole lot of functions there,
Where-
Carlos, Robert.
Alvino Ray played his first big engagement
If you
with
ever
the-
watch
with the
on
King
that-
sisters. I think this is his wife.
anyway, they appear on TV a lot now.
Oh,
The King sisters, and then I saw Alvino Ray in there.
yeah.
So that's your book, Uncle Charlie, huh?
He's
You've been working on this book for quite some time.
Here's Billy Eckstein.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember Billy son. He was, oh gosh, he was,
Remember him?
yeah, I remember him.
Here's Mickey Cohen, a so-called hoodlum in L.A.
So is there anything else, Uncle Charlie, you want to say?
I think I covered everything.
Okay.
And I think I heard a lot of these people from
This is
just
a
listening to
casino.
you. And the first time you went to see
Kelly
her,
Island, here's the ballroom. Kelly Island. Kelly Island was,
what is it? Cadillac?
this is a casino. Catalina.
Let me see. Oh, I see.
Here's the Wrigley House.
Where they start the Rose Parade.
Yeah.
Here's Mr. Wrigley, you know, from Wrigley Chewing Gum. He's the one that built this at $1 million
At Catalina Island?
in
they-
Catalina Island. And this was his house, which is now the headquarters for Tournament Roses. Here. Yeah. So this book it touches a lot on Pasadena,
Mm-hmm.
the West Coast. Try to show some landmarks. And that's it.
Okay, Uncle Charlie.
Okay, let me see what it looks like.
You can't play it from the
Can
camera.
you turn it on and just let it run? And get those leather bound books. They're all classics.
Jody has a one classic Longfellow. I think he wrote poems, didn't he, Carl, Robert?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she's trying to sell those, but nobody seems to want to.
What I'll do, Uncle Charlie, is when I go home, I'll put it on disc and I'll drop it off for you, okay? So you can watch it like this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it on YouTube so your son Joey and your daughter Jackie can watch it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Fine.
Okay. But I just wanted us to know about your book, you know.
Yeah.
As far as
Okay.
I can remember, ever since I can remember, you've always talked about your book and things that you've put into it, and I know you've spent a lot of hard work on it. And even Charlie formed his own band for a while. As a matter of fact, when I got married, he had his band at our wedding dance, and Joe's and mine. So it's been a lot of hard work for him.
Okay, Uncle Charlie, it was nice visiting with you this afternoon.
I know. It was a real pleasure to have you come over and record this moment.
Okay.
I'm anxious to see how it looks on TV. 'Cause
This will go down in our history in our family.
So, Uncle Charlie, when did you start on this book? When did you start? Do you remember about how many years ago you actually started writing the book?
I don't have the actual starting date. I have it written down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been on and off. Started about approximately 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And I worked on it. Went out and bought a laptop so I could do some word processing. And eventually got burned out, and so I switched over to the music part of this book. And this book is for dancers, people that like big band, which would probably boil down to seniors, because the new generation, they're not into big band music.
And so now you're basically concentrating on your music.
So now, yeah, that's what I do. And Pollock.
Okay.
This song
When
is,
Charlie was in the service,
this song, I'll give you the words, I'll give you the words to this song for dancers. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
It's plain to see you love to dance. Your style is free of gravity. Now why can't I dance half as good? And if I could, would you dance with me? Let's ease into this night, enjoy a glass of wine, and dance to the moment divine. Let's sway to this night before us. A flight to the moon can't bore us. You have a style words can't define. I love your smile, I can't hide mine. Your elegance I can't ignore. Let's do this dance forevermore. That's the name of the song, Forevermore.
Okay, Mother. Is there anything else you want to say?
no, I just want to say that I've enjoyed this visit with Uncle Charlie, and I'm glad that you suggested we come and see him. And it was nice to see you, Kenny. And I know you're taking good care of your dad. And he still has it.
Yes.
And he loves his music. You know, when he first was in the service, he used to play it was a trumpet he used to play. And they sent him overseas to, I think it was Guam, he asked my dad to send him some music and send him an instrument. And my dad had a saxophone.
C melody, sax.
And then he sent him this music for that, and Charlie, that's how he turned over to playing the saxophone. And he's always like that. And then even at church, he played the saxophone.
Yeah, my dad used to force us to be in the Christmas play. God, I hated that.
My father would play the saxophone at church, but then he got Charlie to get interested in that, and Charlie's been playing this since we were very young. It's always meant a lot to him. He enjoys that.